Hi there. Okay, Richard Nikoley, freetheanimal.com, as always. And I know the sun is maybe in your eyes a bit, overshadowing me, but it's 9:15 here. I've been up since 4 a.m. today, futzing around on the blog. I'm doing a lot of stuff behind the nuts and bolts areas, stuff that is not apparent on the surface, but I'm working on it. And I think after 4 large Americanos, I think I'm done with that for the day. It's a big day today. This is my moving day. So another video I'm going to shoot is I'm going to do a tour of the house I'm moving from, and then I'm moving this evening. This will be day number 5 with that new girl. She's going to help me. She has a car, and I'm just going to take one trip. She's going to meet me at Home Pro, which is like a Home Depot thing where I'm going to buy a computer cable that I'm going to need, and we'll load it up, come over here. I'll have everything ready to load into her car, and it's only 1.5 kilometers down the road. And once I get situated, so I'm going to shoot some video of this place, which I rent for roughly $320 a month, and then I will do a tour of the new place, which I'm renting for $100 a month. So I'm really kind of getting into the using the geo-arbitrage of living in a country with less costs. As I say, you know, your cost of living here in Thailand can be from 5 to 10 times less than in a typical Western expense sort of thing. But that depends on how you style your life and what you do, and you know, how much going out partying you do, how many ladies drinks you buy at bars, and all of that stuff, or you know, beyond just the drinks. Anyway, there's a particular subject to this video, which is I like to do them right off the bat when I get that spark, and this is owing to a comment, another one of these unpublished comments on my YouTube video that is actually about. It was actually a comment to the post I did about the guy, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was. I can't remember. It could have been that one or a different one. Anyway, okay. So the guy I'm talking about is a guy named Dr. Gary Moore, and I believe he's in San Antonio. He is you never see any signature or anything like that without the doctor in front of it. And you know what that means. Probably a chiropractor. Or how I like to think of it is a fancy masseuse, and you don't get a happy ending, right? So take that, Gary, you little fucker. Now this guy came on my radar shortly after I moved to Thailand and was talking about stuff. In spite of the fact that I've been coming to Thailand since 1986. Between 86 and 90, I came here 7 times, about a total of 4 months or so in country, in 7 trips. And now I've lived here 2.5 years. And so, you know, right off the bat, he's fucking lecturing me, right? Because that's how he is. I'll get into that more. So, about a year or so ago, I just outright blocked him. But he still fucking persists. I have a junk mail folder, and so I scan through it every time I empty it, just to see if there's something that is a false positive, right? And I see that it's a little red thing with the cross between it, signifying people that you've blocked. And I really only have 2 people that are blocked in email that way. And sure enough, it's there. So for a year, I don't know what the periodicity is, maybe one every 3 weeks or so on and so forth. But it's been quite a lot in the last year. I've not read a single one. I have not replied, and have 0 dialogue with him. But before that, so it's probably a year and a half or so where we dialogued fairly frequently over email. But he always fucking annoys me. I mean, one of the most annoying things, I think, was that he would tend to send, not an email like everyone else does. No, it's a Google Doc thing, and then it's sent to me with a limited time to open it, and That's one thing, one fucking annoying thing. So I go there and it's expired or whatever, you know, because I'm not like sitting here waiting for Dr. Gary Moore, chiropractor, fancy masseuse, to email me. Oh, the other thing, for a while, you know, when we had Facebook, and it was communications in Messenger, right? So, you know, we'd have like a big long thread. And then he says something and I want to go up and reference it, something he said or I said previously, so I try to scroll up. Nope, he wiped out all of his fucking posts to me, right? I said, why do you do that? Oh, but I'm anal or something like that. You sure as fuck are, you little prissy pussy. Now into that. So the first time that comes on my radar is comment on the blog. I could probably look it up shortly after getting here, and he's like cautioning me about riding motorcycles and here, which everybody does. I mean, fucking little teenage girls and boys, right? Sometimes not even teenage girls and boys out in the village. Yes, some of them get hurt and killed on it. It's true. It's true. But people and kids get hurt and killed on a lot of different things. Is it avoidable? Yes. Yes. You can crawl in a fucking dark corner and cower like a little pussy and not live life and do that. And then it's like he's this guy that it's like he always knows best, right? Knows everything. And if he tells you that he has 10% body fat, he will tell you a fucking 100 times, right? He doesn't seem to have much of a great memory because he repeats shit he told you over and over and over again. But anyway, here's the makeup of this guy. He comes to Thailand sometimes. Does he go out and mix it up with bar girls or anything of the sort? You know, no. You know, mixed with the hoi polloi? No. He's a safety Nazi. He has a girlfriend here who's a rich girl, drives a BMW, and the import duty is like 3 times the cost of the car, right? So they drive all over. Does he drive? Fuck no. He's afraid. and it's I think a BMW X3 if I recall correctly, and he's talking about how bad some of the roads were and when they went into Laos or something like that. I'm just laughing my ass off. I mean, what a prissy little pussy boy. And and the reason this comes up is because of his comment there, and I start reading it, and I'm like 2 paragraphs down, I look up and see who it is. Oh, Dr. Gary Moore. And I'm like, fuck this, and I just fucking deleted it. I didn't even read, it's about 12 paragraphs as near as I can tell, and I didn't even fucking read it. Anyway, so that's the introduction about him. Now into the content of this thing. He was talking about having spent the 75K. See, like I said yesterday, the people that have the greatest disdain for you know more about you and follow you more closely than your biggest fans. Absolutely, every single one of them, right? Gary, or Dr. Gary, you will never, ever, ever have an exchange with me, a dialogue with me, under any circumstances. This is the most you're gonna get, utter ridicule. Utter ridicule. A little pussy boy, prissy boy, right? His notorious name dropping, like all of this stuff. And his recollections of Thailand have to do with this great hotel, this great hotel, this great like rooftop or, you know, top floor restaurant and all this shit, right? All like first class stuff, right? Don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. So he's ridiculing me having spent $75,000 building a house in Isan, putting the 2 girls in school, which they're still in, putting the down payment, the first few payments on the car, so that they can actually do business. and all of this shit, good stuff, right? And so it's ridicule about that, which just really shows the puerility of a person, right? They're just downright fucking shriveled up evil, right? They have an inferiority complex. He probably has an inferiority complex because he's a fucking chiropractor, a masseuse who doesn't give happy endings. And so he goes around using a doctor with every fucking thing, right? Inferiority complex, right? Rightly earned, right? But he has 10% body fat, don't forget that. Anyway, so this idea, he's always tried to like school me about Thailand. Fuck. I've been all over Southeast Asia going back to 1982, for fuck's sakes, 40 years ago. I know all about it. I've lived out in the boonies. Fuck. Anyway, so this whole thing about like getting scammed or whatever on money kind of depends on your perspective, right? So, are you enjoying yourself, right? Yeah, you will have guys, expats, tell you time and time again, oh no man, those girls will take you for everything you have, and da 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 da. I know a guy who committed suicide, he jumped out of a window, blah 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 blah. If you tell them you built a house, they're like, well, did you do all the agreements and da da da? Did you do a land lease, and then you can actually own the structure and you can lease the land, but you can't own land. And an American can if you set up a company. It's possible. Americans have for some reason a special dispensation here, but I haven't looked into it. And you know why? Because I was doing what I want to. And my attitude is if the relationship doesn't continue, then regardless of whatever my protections are, legally in terms of agreements and so on and so forth, if the relationship is good, what the fuck do I want to be there anyway for? And am I the sort that uses good money to chase bad money? Fuck no. I'm a risk taker and an entrepreneur, and if you will always take some losses in life, and sometimes some big ones, right? You don't cry over it. The best policy is go make more money. Forget about it, go make more money. This reminds me, where I got this lesson from is when I first started in business. It took me 5 years to go from, a one-man shop in a bedroom to an actual office with initially 2 employees, right? And then a couple that worked remotely and stuff. But up until then, it was just me in a home office and 1 or 2 others that worked remotely as well, and strictly on commission for, rainmaker sort of commission. But during that time, and I'm making okay money for someone who has very low costs because of work out of the house. I'm like reading all these books about like structuring taxes and offshore shit and all this stuff. I spend a significant amount of time and even money like by going to conferences and shit like that. About tax havens and protection and da da da. And one day I'm like, how much fucking time have I spent on trying to guard what I haven't even fucking earned yet? How about I go out and make some money first, And how about, here's a novel idea, make enough of it that you don't fucking care. Just hand it over to an accountant and a lawyer and say, do whatever, make it right. Because I don't have time to fucking think about it. I don't have time to worry about losses. I've lost a lot of money, different times. 2008, fuck. Between the houses and markets and stuff like that, $3 million roughly, $2.5 million. Did I cry? No. Went on and did stuff, right? I'm still doing stuff. Setback here primarily because of COVID. That 75K would not have been an issue at all were it not for fucking COVID. And so, but COVID was COVID and it happened. I'm not going to cry about it. So I'm just regrouping and going to make money again. I've done it before. I'll do it again, right? And I just sit around and whine and cry like a baby. Oh, don't do this. You notice, you ever notice that it's the professional types, you know, the professors, the lawyers, the doctors and everything, that typically have this mindset of like protecting and structuring and planning and shit like that, right? They don't throw shit against the wall, see what sticks and run with it, right? Not that type at all. Safety first. Better safe than sorry. Sometimes being sorry is a load of fun. You know, I can say that in the 2.5 years I've been in Thailand here, I've had a fucking load of fun. And if 75K was the price of that, so be it. So that's basically my message. Get over your fucking self and don't be a pussy boy. God, right? Right. And fucking get out of my sight, Dr. Gary Moore. It's gonna do you no good. You're wasting your fucking time. I don't give a fuck what you think, and what you think about me is none of my fucking business. All right? Jesus Christ already, you fucking sycophant. God, sometimes he'd email me like 5-6 times in one day, right? It's crazy, right? Just a fucking, like, I don't know what makes people like that tick. But I'm not gonna let some bullshit like that go answer. You get both barrels from me, because I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what you think about me. I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about me. I do what I do. I will always do what I do with no thought or consideration to what you might think about it, right? Like it if you want, hate it if you want, right? I try to avoid indifference. That's the only thing I do. Love, hate, same thing to me, basically. It's engagement, right? So anything else to say on this, right? Okay, so probably put this in I'm writing a post about sociopathy and psychopathy. So sociopaths and psychopaths. I was surprised to learn that the difference is in between them wasn't typically what you think. You tend to think of a sociopath as a total social misfit, or someone who just doesn't care or whatever. And the psychopath is like the serial killer guy, or psychopath. And it's not really that. So I'm writing a post on that, and what prompted me is because of the girlfriend that I broke up with, and 2.5 years. I finally realized, she has a lot of sociopathic tendencies. But on the other hand, it was a lot of fun. You just have to know and understand what you're getting into, just like when you ride a motorbike. Have some fun, or drive the car. Oh yeah, did I mention that more? Going all over it's like the girl drove the car, right? Because he's afraid to drive the car. What a fucking pussy! You're a pussy, prissy cunt, Moore. Now go fuck off. All right, the rest of you have a great day. And I'm gonna shoot some video. Oh, I'm going to the gym too. There's a video up, a little introduction, but I've got 2.5 hours, finish my daily 18-hour fast. 18.6 is pretty good for me. I start eating between 12 and 1, and I finish up between 8 and 9. I've lost like 10 kilos, and I'm back in the gym for 2 weeks, but just the little, homeowner association gym here, but I found a full-fledged gym with a deadlift room, a separate deadlift room with everything. Best deadlift setup I've ever seen. And it's 80 baht a day, which comes out to about $2.20 per day per session. So you can use it the whole day. It's a daily membership, right? There's a fancy gym here where all the peacocks go, right? The preening peacocks. Kind of a guy probably like Gary Moore would go there. They pay $500. So that extra $12 or so, more than $12, $1,250 is to be in the place, but most particularly to make sure that you're seen by all the right people, right? You should check it out, Gary. Should you ever get to Rowai, it'll be perfect for your sissy little ass. So the rest of you have a nice day. Bye.